Can we trust our senses? The science of how your brain lies to you. You are in a pitch black room. There is no sound, no light, no scent, just an overwhelming void. Yet somehow you are aware. You reach out, feeling nothing but empty space. You listen, but there is only silence. Then, after what feels like an eternity, the world suddenly appears around you. Colors, shapes, sounds, textures. Everything you associate with reality. But here's the twist. None of it is real. Everything you are experiencing, the sights, the sounds, even the feeling of your own body, is nothing more than a carefully constructed simulation inside your brain. Your mind is not passively receiving reality. It is creating it. The world you think you live in is not an objective truth. It is a story being told to you by your senses, and that story is full of errors, gaps, and outright lies. Today we are going to unravel one of the most unsettling truths about human perception. Your senses are not designed to show you reality as it is. Instead, they are designed to create a version of reality that helps you survive, even if that means deceiving you. And once you see through the illusion, you might never trust your own mind again. The brain as a reality simulator. Let's start with a fundamental question. How do you know the world around you exists? The only reason you believe in an external reality is because your senses tell you it is there. But there's a problem. Your senses lie to you. Constantly. Your eyes don't see the world. They detect light waves. Your ears don't hear sound. They detect vibrations in the air. Your skin doesn't feel objects. It interprets pressure and temperature changes. Your brain is trapped inside a dark, silent skull. It has no direct connection to the outside world. Everything you experience is nothing more than electrical signals traveling through neurons, interpreted based on past experiences and assumptions. And sometimes your brain guesses wrong. Your vision, a construct, not a window. Most people believe their eyes act like a camera, capturing reality exactly as it is. But this is not true. Vision is not a passive recording. It is an active construction. Your brain takes in fragments of light and fills in the gaps based on expectations and prior knowledge. Want proof? Look at the blind spot in your eyes. Each eye has a blind spot where the optic nerve connects to the retina. This should create a hole in your vision where no information is received, but you don't notice it. Why? Because your brain fills in the missing details with whatever it assumes should be there. Try this. Close one eye and slowly move your finger across your field of view. There is a moment when your finger should disappear, but instead, your brain patches over the gap, making it seem like nothing is missing. This means that at all times, part of what you see is completely made up. Now think about what this implies. If your brain is fabricating parts of your vision, how much of what you see is actually real? And it gets worse. Color, a fiction of the mind. You may think colors exist in the outside world. They don't. There is no such thing as red or blue or green. The universe is made up of electromagnetic waves, and color is simply the way your brain interprets those waves. Different animals perceive colors differently. Bees can see ultraviolet light, which is invisible to us. Some shrimp species can detect 16 different colors that we can't even imagine. This means the colors you see are not an inherent property of reality. They are an illusion, created by your mind. So if color is an illusion, what else might be? The deception of sound, how your brain ignores reality. Just like your vision, your hearing is not as reliable as you think. When you listen to a conversation in a noisy room, your brain filters out background noise, allowing you to focus on one voice. This is called the cocktail party effect. Your mind prioritizes what it thinks is important and ignores the rest. But sometimes it gets things wrong. Ever heard your name in a crowded room, even though no one actually said it? That's your brain filling in the gaps, anticipating what it expects to hear, even if it isn't actually there. This happens in music as well. If you listen to a song with missing notes, your brain fills in the gaps, making you believe you're hearing something that isn't there. And what about silence? Ever sat in complete silence and heard a faint ringing in your ears? That's tinnitus. your brain generating sound when none exists. If your hearing is constantly being filtered, altered, and even fabricated, can you really trust what you hear? Touch. The illusion of physical reality. What about touch? Surely the feeling of something in your hands is real, right? Not exactly. You never actually touch anything. When you press your hand against a table, what you're really feeling is the electromagnetic repulsion between the electrons in your skin and the electrons in the table. There is a microscopic gap between you and everything you touch, yet your brain interprets this electromagnetic resistance as solid contact. So when you hold someone's hand, are you really touching them, or are you just feeling the illusion of touch, a carefully constructed sensation created by your nervous system? How do we know what's real? If vision can be fabricated, if color doesn't exist, if sound is filtered, and if touch is just a force field, then what does this say about our reality? If your senses are constantly interpreting, filtering, and fabricating information, then how much of what you perceive is actual reality? Or is your brain just creating a convenient illusion of virtual reality that helps you function in the world even if it's not truly accurate? Some scientists believe that reality itself may be a kind of user interface, that we are not seeing the world as it truly is, but as a simplified version that helps us survive. Cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman argues that just like a computer desktop hides the complex code underneath, our perception hides the deeper reality of the universe. We don't see reality. We see icons, mental shortcuts that represent useful information. If this is true, then everything you experience is just a representation, not the actual thing itself. And if we never truly experience reality, then how can we ever know what's real? Conclusion. Can we ever escape the illusion? Everything you see, hear, feel, and experience is a product of your brain, not an objective reality. Your mind constructs the world around you, filling in gaps, filtering out information, and even fabricating sensory experiences that don't actually exist. This raises an unsettling question. If our senses can't be trusted, is anything real at all? If we are trapped inside a reality that is nothing more than a filtered, distorted interpretation, then what happens when the illusion breaks? And if you can never escape the deception of your own mind, then what does it truly mean to exist?